Okay. Ito yung gusto kong i-discuss sa inyo, guys. The 3 big keys to getting yourself unstuck. So, yung kanina, minention ko yung mga scenarios. Okay, scenarios po yan ng mga limiting beliefs po ng mga aspiring at seasoned virtual accountants and bookkeepers. So now, let's talk about yung 3 big keys to getting yourself unstuck. So, by the way, itong discussion na to, I got this from the book entitled Why You're Stuck, Your Guide to Finding Freedom from Any Life Challenges by Derek Bookkeeper. Ang ganda niya. So, very relatable siya. And I know, kaya rin gusto ko siya i-share sa inyo kasi napakadali niyang intindihan. And makaka-relate po talaga tayo. So, number 1 key is awareness. Awareness. The only way to change what's in your way is to change your way. Awareness means knowledge or perception of a situation or fact. Let's say, nahulog ka sa isang hole and you knock yourself out and gumising ka surrounded by total darkness and not remembering how you got there. Ano kaya yung unang gagawin mo para makaalis ka dun sa hole na yun, sa butas na yun? Of course, it will be awareness that you are in a hole. Nandun ka sa butas. Tanong ko lang, do you ever felt trapped by obsessive thoughts you can't get rid of? Let's say, lost, confused about what to do or where to turn, overcome by emotions like anxiety and stress, and the mercy of unwanted habitual behaviors and circumstances. Then, if that's the case, you have fallen into one of these holes. Isa sa pinaka-obvious reason why awareness is important is that you have to be aware of what the real problem is in order to overcome it. Totoo naman eh. Anong susolve mo kung hindi mo naman alam kung ano yung problem? Pero, do you think it's enough to just know that you're in a hole or sa butas na stuck and to know how to escape or get unstuck? Pero baka yung iba dito, you felt like your life is already perfect, you have a lot of money, you're in great shape, and filled with happiness, living the life of your dreams. What good would it be to have all of that only to lose it a few months or years down the road? Unfortunately, this not only happens to many people, but it seems to be a norm. Getting out of one hole only to fall into another. Stuck. Cycle. Pagkagaling mo lang dun sa problem na yun, bakit pagdating sa next season, parang yun pa rin yung nagiging problema. Stuck pa rin. Umuulit yung cycle. Bakit kaya? You know what? The simple explanation is that most people target the symptoms of their problem and not the root cause. Agree? Most people target the symptoms of the problem and not the root cause. Symptoms, the signs. Signs lang. Ang nire-resolve nila, most likely, yung mga signs ng problem. Problem na nag-a-arise. Gawa natin ng solution. Pero nami-miss nila, ano yung root cause? Hindi siya na-heal, hindi naayos yung root cause. Kaya, kapag nag-proceed siya dun sa next, ganun pa rin, cycle pa rin, ganun pa rin yung problema. Kasi hindi na resolve. Hindi na-identify kung ano yung root cause. One example is, bawa, yung isang tao nanalo siya ng lottery. Nanalo siya ng lottery, pero it ended up broke years later. Or probably for some people get themselves out of one bad relationships only to end up in another shortly afterwards. Okay? Ano ulit na explanation? The simplest explanation, most people target the symptoms of their problem and not the root cause. What this means is that if you're not aware of what created your challenge in the first place, then even if you do break free, you'll just fall back into the same rut again down the road. It's not enough to have the awareness of what the problem is. You also need the awareness of why that problem developed in the first place. So you can then figure out how to escape it and prevent it from happening again. Gets? You have to create awareness what the problem is. Next, you have to create awareness of why that problem developed in the first place. Bakit siya nangyari? And then figure out how to escape it and prevent it from happening again. What, why, and how. Again, what, why, and how. Following? Nakaka-follow ba? If you're following, type number 2. Thank you. The only way to change what's in your way is to change your way. Basa niyo po? Nice. So key number 1, awareness. The only way to change what's in your way is to change your way. And you know what? Awareness has 2 parts. Ano yun? Awareness that comes from within yourself and awareness that comes from outside yourself. The awareness comes from within is like the light bulb that goes off in your head. When you suddenly have insights or see something in a new way, it comes from self-reflection or the act of observing yourself. Awareness that comes from outside yourself is anything you see, you hear, or experience that raises your awareness. If you've ever watched a documentary, read a book, or heard something said that raised your awareness on something and lead to a near instinctuous change or change in your thinking and behavior, you know the power of gaining greater awareness from outside yourself. Okay? And you know what? Ako, itong awareness na to, naging malaking part siya ng buhay ko. One of the biggest shifts in my life was catalyzed by this type of increase in awareness. After years of living off a stressful, demanding, routinary, and low pay and long working hours, I made a decision that this has to change. I had this greater inner awareness of what the real problem is. This is not the life I wanted. I want to have time and financial freedom. I want to help more people. I want to see my dreams come to life. I want my family and people around me to have a comfortable life. So with increased awareness of being stuck in a mediocre life and fear of going out of my comfort zone, I get to see why I let myself stay there for a longer period of time. That I was so scared and choose to be complacent. So I come up with an escape plan. My escape plan, I did my research. How can I work while earning dollars working from home? Hindi ko na kailangan pumunta na abroad. Hindi ko na kailangan mag-travel. So I signed up to different online sites, created my online resume, and submitted to many job applications until I got an offer to work full-time with competitive pay, and the rest is history. So you see, I get to understand what the problem is, why it developed in the first place, and how to escape from that problem. Now, let me ask you, what is the problem? What is the problem? Ano yung pinagdadaanan mo ngayon? Do you even know why it developed in the first place? Bakit nangyari yun? And can you come up with an escape plan? Okay, hindi ko po alam kung ano yung problema yun, but I hope you're trying to see it, imagining it. Okay, parang meron ka nang kine-create sa utak mo. Kung ano yung problema, bakit siya na-develop in the first place, and what is the escape plan? Alright? So that's key awareness, key number 1, which is awareness.
Is online bookkeeping for me? Can I actually do it? Can I do it part-time? I've been in the corporate for so many years. How can I learn this online bookkeeping thing? I don't have any background in accounting. You've enrolled to different courses, but seems to find your answers you need. Here's your answers. You don't need to be an expert or experienced to start. All you have to do is to have basic accounting knowledge and an understanding of the business. It's very easy and pays well. We have a student in the masterclass who doesn't have any experience as online bookkeepers and even no background in accounting. But of course, it's not for everyone because not everyone is willing to take a leap of faith. Is willing to put all the efforts, is willing to accept and handle rejection, is willing to keep on trying, is willing to connect, hop on a call, and create proposals. Since we are talking about money, accuracy is very important. So with the Bookkeeper Secret Academy, we help aspiring and seasoned freelancers to learn the bookkeeping skills, actual software use, application, how to look for clients, and handle the actual work, wherein you can start earning immediately. Of course, we want you to get your investment back as soon as possible. We don't only talk about the skills, but also the mindsets. How do you handle client rejections? How do you price your services? How do you do your proposals? How to get Xero and QuickBooks Online certification. Then if you are someone who are looking for something to learn and earn during this new normal setup, then this is for you. Because you understand that you cannot deposit excuses. Well, how to start? You can start by having at least your equipment, a laptop or PC, a stable internet, at least having 5 Mbps, i5, 8 gig RAM, this course, and focus. And applying all the learnings and be prepared. Because if you bought this course, it only means that you want to get out of that rat race and be your own boss. And want to earn a lot doing bookkeeping. Looking forward to seeing you in the inside.
And then number 2 key is appreciation. Appreciation. Ito maganda to kasi kala natin appreciation, it's more on the positive side lang. But babalansehin natin sa discussion na to. Actually, appreciation is recognizing how everything, even the most painful struggles and challenges, can serve to provide you greater freedom and fulfillment. Whether or not something that's happening to you or has happened to you benefits you or harm you is a choice that's up to you to make. The thing that can set you free is also the thing that keep you stuck, depending on your response to it. Everything can either enslave or serve you depending upon your response to it. Actually, appreciation doesn't mean you have to like or enjoy something. Most of us don't like to experience physical pain. Tama? But imagine, what would happen if you cannot feel any pain? Kung wala ng pain. You'd get bruised up, burn, and you could completely turn what would be minor injuries into life-threatening ones. You may even die of an easily curable sickness, all because you lack pain to make you aware of something being wrong. In this respect, you can appreciate how pain is serving without actually liking it. Both physical and emotional pain, discomfort, serve as a great slaps in the face that make you aware of something so that you can take action to create a different experience. If you don't appreciate the service of pain and therefore decide to numb yourself with drugs or distractions, you can miss the message the pain is trying to make you aware of and fail to take the different course of action. Actually, you know what? Madalas, hindi lang minsan, we distract ourselves doing something para hindi natin maranasan yung pain. Distraction is a morphine for the mind. Distraction is used to cut off your awareness to a problem at the expense of cutting off your awareness to its solution. So, hindi rin po okay minsan yung paggawa natin ng mga distractions. Parang instead of we directly solve the problems, we create another diversion, another road, or another distraction to make it more complicated. Nakaranas na po ba kayo ng ganito? Meron kayong problema. Ginawa mo, instead of solving the problem, umalis ka. Umalis ka kung ano yung ginawa mo. Nag-enjoy ka para lang makalimutan mo yung problem na yon. Pero nung bumalik ka, nawala ba yung problema? Hindi naman eh. Nandyan pa rin. Kahit nga umalis ka, dala-dala mo pa rin yun eh. Iniisip mo pa rin yun eh. Wala ka pa rin peace of mind. Tama po. Ignoring or resisting any type of pain is one of the most fundamental root cause of getting stuck. Ignoring or resisting any type of pain is one of the most fundamental root cause of getting stuck. We've developed all kinds of defense mechanisms against feeling pain, blaming, complaining, and justifying all the ways to reduce the pain that comes from being wrong, uncertain, or victimized. Criticizing and attacking others are a way to avoid the pain of our own insecurities. And as strange as it sounds, we may inflict pain on ourselves to distract ourselves from an even greater pain that we don't want to face. As the pain is numb, so is our awareness of what that pain is trying to show us about ourselves. We distract ourselves from the painful things that we don't want to be aware of. Ako, relate ako dyan. Totoo po, diba? So, if you really want to get stuck, get unstuck, you have to, wala tayong ibang choice but to face the problem. But to face the reality that there is a problem that we need to solve. And one thing to note about appreciation is that it's not about only thinking happy thoughts or positive thinking and feeling good all the time. Whenever you're going through a rough time, the last thing you usually want someone to tell you is actually stop worrying and cheer up. Diba? Tama naman. Diba may problema kasi sabihin, uy, ayaw mong marinig, uy, okay lang yan, huwag ka na mag-alala. Diba? That's because most of us feel that even if others have our best interests at heart, they don't appreciate what we're going through. We have that kind of impression, diba? And appreciation means embracing the fact that you won't only think happy thoughts. And sometimes you're going to feel miserable. And that's okay. This is because appreciation recognizes that negative thoughts are equally as valuable as positive thoughts. Balance. Okay? Hindi po pwede kasing imbalance. Yung mundo natin kung hindi balance yan, siguro nakatabingi tayong lahat, di ba? Nag-work tayo, nakatabingi tayo lahat. And yun nga, minsan may nanalo talaga, mayroong natatalo. So, kailangan po talaga balance. Minsan nakukuha mo, minsan hindi. That's okay. This is because yun nga, negative thoughts are equally valuable as positive thoughts. It's about appreciating both the positive and the negative things. Because only then can you have full awareness of the situation. Following po. And take action with all the facts. Sticking your head in the sand and pretending nothing can ever go wrong in failing to appreciate that sometimes bad things happen. And you'll need to be proactive about it. This overly optimistic approach to life can be just as destructive as an overly pessimistic approach. Ito po, tinuro ko po yan sa Rise of Online Learning dahil natutuhan ko rin din po na hindi, yung pong pagiging over-positive, okay, hindi rin po siya maganda. Parang kapareha siya ng overly negative. So, hindi po siya balance. Imbalance pa rin. So, sa life, yun nga po, hindi laging okay. Okay, sa journey din natin in here, we have to accept the fact that sometimes you have to pause, nadadapa ka, and after mo madapa, syempre kailangan you have to get up. Magkakamali ka, okay lang times, magkakaroon ka ng guilt, or sometimes may blaming game, ganyan. But what's important is that balancing mo. After mong naranasan yung mga negative things na yun, kailangan balansehin mo ng positive things naman. Okay? You still need to see the positive side of it. Kailangan balance pa rin po. And appreciation isn't gained by ignoring the negative and focusing on the positive. It is gained in accepting how both negative and positive are necessary for wholeness. Pareho po silang importante. Appreciation also means compassion for yourself when you screw up. Ay, pumahig, ganito yun. Ay, Shary, hindi mo kasi inayos yung English mo eh. Eh, di ba dapat inayos mo yung proposal mo eh. Dapat pinacheck mo muna kay ganito, ganyan. Okay, lalo mo lang pinag-guilt yung sarili mo. Minsan, okay lang din na sabihin mo, okay, Shary, you screw up. Okay? So, take that lesson sa next proposal mo, sa next client call mo, sa next discovery call mo. It even means appreciating yourself when you don't feel appreciation for what is happening. And yes, okay, I know that seems like oxymoron. We can literally think I could be more appreciative, but I'm not, and that's okay. And what you'll find is that when you stop beating yourself up over things and appreciating wherever you're in the moment by saying, I feel down, and that's okay. I feel lost, and that's okay. I feel stuck, and that's okay. Only then you will be able to break free from it. Following? It's counter intuition. Ano kasi tawag doon? May tawag doon, may term doon. Parang it's counter paradoxical. But the best way to get over feeling bad is to allow yourself to feel bad. Diba? Ganun kasi tayo. Gusto natin lagi feeling good. Ayaw natin i-allow yung sarili natin sometimes to feel bad. Pero yun nga, minsan kailangan din po pala natin to get over feeling bad is to allow yourself to feel bad. And yet, be okay with that. This requires you to stop saying, I should feel this, and instead, just welcome and acknowledge how you feel. If you're sad, then you're sad. Okay, then after that, tapos ka na dyan sa season na yan, get back again. Balik ka ulit. Okay? And, yun nga, appreciation is more than just intellectual appreciation of something. It's actually the actual ability to welcome and allow any particular thoughts or feeling without fighting it and without becoming too slave to it. In this respect, you could say it about allowing and accepting as much as it is gratitude. So sometimes yung mga so-called negative emotions natin like anger, fear, and jealousy, they actually tell you a very important message that you need to pay attention to. If you resisted fear by ignoring it, you might not recognize genuine danger. If you went in another direction and became too attached to your fear, you might not escape genuine danger because you'd be paralyzed by the fear. If instead you allowed fear to be there and actually thank it for its service, you'd be able to recognize its message and still stay in control of the situation. And appreciation, therefore, turns your thoughts and feeling into things that you serve rather than things that dominates and control. It's actually through the willingness to welcome whatever is happening to you rather than resisting it that you can get the message it has for you. And that message includes how to get yourself unstuck. In other words, within your problem is the answer of how to solve it. Nagigets? Within your problem is the answer of how to solve it. Ako kanina, sabi ko nga kanina sa inyo about my awareness. Sabi ko, naintindihan ko yung problem eh. Kasi I was working for long hours, stressful, and then low pay, tapos demanding pa yung work. Hinayaan ko. The problem is, hinayaan ko, ginusto ko na ganun siya. Naintindihan ko yung problem na I allow myself to be in that situation. Nung na-realize ko na, okay, I came up with the escape plan. Like I said, kanina escape plan because I did my research. I find a way. I really find a way to get out of that situation because I'm really tired and exhausted doing that all over again on a daily basis. Isa ba kayo dun sa mga pag nagko-commute yung nahihilo-hilo dahil na may usok sa jeep or sa bus? Ako po, ganun po talaga ako. Kaya ito talagang pinanalangin ko sa Panginoon, Lord, ayoko na po. So talagang grabe, yung parang ilang months pa lang po ako nag-work. Pero nung nasa corporate, talagang sumusuko ako agad because of that kind of stress of commuting every day. So I find a way. I find a way to get out of that situation. So I'm not sure kung saan, ano po yung mga season nyo na stuck kayo ngayon. But I hope you get to understand the problem. You get to understand the problem, get aware of what the problem is. What, di ba nga? What, why, bakit siya nangyari? Why it developed? And then how. How means escape plan. What's your escape plan? Right? And just to end this key number 2. So finally, appreciation is not about adapting. And the least, it's not worse mentality. This is really appreciating what situation is not rather than appreciating what it is. This also explains why people who say at least or it could have been worse in response to our struggles strike us as an appreciative of our situation. There's nothing wrong with recognizing your challenges. Could be worse, but it's still a distraction from facing what you're actually going through. So again, appreciation isn't gained by ignoring the negative and focusing on the positive. It is gained from accepting how both negative and positive are necessary for wholeness. Balance. Okay po. Balance po ang positive and negative. Battery, positive and negative. Hot and cold. Yeah, balance. So, last key, okay? Ito, hindi ko na masyado, alam ko gets na po ito eh. Key to getting unstuck. Number 3 is really taking action. Taking action. The third key to freedom is to take conscious action. Taking action to change one life is one of those stupid, obvious things we all know we need to do. And yet somehow, we manage to trick ourselves out of it by imagining a better life rather than doing the work of creating one. Alam naman natin, taking action lang naman talaga yung dapat gawin. Pero we keep on convincing ourselves na hindi, baka hindi naman talaga taking action yan. The good news is that by focusing on raising your awareness and appreciation, the best course of action tends to become both clearer and more desirable. This means if you had a hard time struggling to get yourself motivated, you're going to learn how to get yourself to act even if you don't have a lot of willpower. Parang to sa you're starting something. Diba minsan yung hype nasa una lang. Tapos habang tumatagal na mawala. Pero yun nga, kailangan ng commitment. Kailangan ng persistence. Kailangan persistent ka. Dapat, kung yung isang bagay, tinisasunan mo ng gagawin mo, haharapin mo. Whatever setbacks come along your way, kailangan mo siyang i-overcome. Kailangan mo siyang harapin. Hindi mo siya tatakbuhan. Dahil kapag tinakbuhan mo siya, wala, stuck ka pa rin doon. Hindi ka na maka-move on sa next step. Or probably baka hanap ka na ng ibang way. Again. Okay. Ito, kailangan mo lang harapin. You have to take action. Okay, sa mga na-stuck dyan, probably for seasoned legal accountants and bookkeepers, baka hindi mo na alam paano ulit bumalik. Basta bumalik ka lang. Bumalik ka lang. We have our accountability teams there to guide you. Okay, kung kailangan mo ng roadmap, again, okay, sumulit mag-start from week 1. Go ahead. Okay, kung kailangan mo ng copy, balikan mo lang yung copy ulit. And then start again. Start with week 1. Kung ayaw mo ng week 1, sige doon sa week 2. Okay? The purpose of this discussion, above all else, is to empower you to make your own best choices, rather than to tell you what you should do. Okay? Ako personally, gusto ko pong maparealize sa inyo kung ano po yung dapat yung gawin. Rather than telling you, ganito gawin mo, ganyan gawin mo. Okay? Kasi pag ikaw mismo yung nakarealize no mali mo, diba parang mas madaling kumilos. Mas madaling mong baguhin kung ano man yung hindi magandang ginagawa mo. The biggest thing to understand with action is that you always have a choice in what you do with perhaps only very few exceptions. Bawa, merong isang tao, nahilang ka ng, kinatukan ka ng gun sa head mo. And sabi niya, papuputukin ko tong gun na to if you don't, pag gumalaw ka, sabi niya muna. Okay? You still have a choice. Although it's not a very good one. You never have to do anything, but rather you choose to do something because the alternative choices are perceived as worst. Okay, parang mas gusto ko nang may gawin ako. Tinutukan ako ng baril, sabi wag daw akong gagalaw kung papuputukin niya daw yung baril. So, I'm taking the risk na, okay, baka kailangan ko i-push siya, baka tanggalin niya yung baril. Okay, baka matapo niya yung baril. At least medyo makatakbo ako. I have a chance to live. So, yun po. I hope you're getting the point there. Make your best choices rather than telling you what you should do. I hope na-visualize nyo kung saan kayo na-i-stuck ngayon. And somehow, medyo na-visualize nyo na po kung ano yung mga probably actions or escape plan na pinaplano nyo gawin. Okay? So the reason why this distinction is important is that many people, when feeling stuck, think to themselves, well, I can change anything, so I'm screwed. I'll just sit around and be miserable. Even if it's true, you can change something that is bothering you in the outside world. You can still always choose how you respond to it in your thoughts and feelings. Remember, okay? Remember, the ability to choose how you think and feel about your experience of life is the greatest freedom of all. Because it is the only freedom that no one and nothing can ever take from you, even by physical force. And this is true empowerment. Sabi nga ni Matthew Jeffers, the only disability in life is a bad attitude. The only disability in life is a bad attitude. Mm-hmm. So again, key number 3 to get unstuck: action, choices. You have choices. Now, choose. Choose now. Make your own best choices rather than tell you what you should do. A dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work, all in power. Okay, so again, the 3 things, the 3 keys: awareness, alright, appreciation, and action. Awareness, appreciation, and action. Tandaan po natin yung what, why, and how. Ito tinuro ko rin po ito dun sa aming mindset coaching and the rest of online learning. Sabi doon, what you do, why you're doing it, and how it might serve others. It's the clarity of their offer. Bakit mo siya ginagawa? Okay, what you do, ano yung ginagawa mo, bakit mo siya ginagawa, at paano siya makakatulong sa iba. Okay, sa mga nagtatanong about clarity of their offer. Okay, ano yung offer nila.